Yeah. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Happy New Year, first of all. I hope you're all safe and well. Welcome to our pre-match press conference for Leeds United tomorrow. As always, start with broadcast questions. Please raise your hand if you do have a question. We'll try to get to as many of you as possible. The written briefing afterwards, embargoed until 10:30 tonight. As always, no streaming or posting during the press conference. That can all wait until afterwards. As always, we'll start with Sky. So Gary Cottrell, we'll come to you first.
I'm unmuted. Thank you, Simon. A happy, healthy and successful 2021 to you, Jose.
Thank you. Same for you all.
Can I just check with you how frustrating it was for you, the coaching staff, the squad, to be waiting, I assume the Lodge, to go to the game on Wednesday, and then it was called off so late?
I don't want to speak too much about it. Just to say that I felt unprofessional. But that's the way it is, or that's the way it was.
Did it disrupt to any great extent your preparations, your schedule?
Of course. Of course. We were preparing ourselves for that match. And then, of course, we didn't play. And that is disruptive of what is a week of work. The training sessions before that, of course, they would be different if we were going to play that game. So people can think, good for you because you didn't play. Good for me if I didn't play, and I know that I don't play, because then I could have a different cycle in the training sessions. But not to play and not to train like we would like the days before, of course, doesn't help.
Leeds, their last two away, they've conceded 6 and then scored 5. So is it a case of which Leeds turn up tomorrow?
I think the Leeds that turns up is the Leeds. Everybody knows the team they are. Everybody knows the way they like to play, and that's it. I don't think we will have any surprise in relation to the way they want to play that game.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Okay, we'll go to Ian Abrahams from TalkSport now. Ian.
Hi, Jose. Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year too.
I'm not going to refer specifically to Wednesday, but I just want to ask whether you think it's important that football continues. There have been some people saying maybe there should be a little break in football because of the amount of COVID cases. But is it important for the mental health of the nation that you guys are allowed to carry on playing? Because there is no doubt that people now do look forward more than ever to watching you play football on TV.
We are in a position where I don't believe opinions matter. For sure, my opinion doesn't matter at all. And I think you feel since the beginning of everything that I was always in favor of playing. I was always in favor of making all the possible sacrifices to play. But when we arrive into a situation that for me is very, very doubtful, I prefer not to speak and just to be ready, and thinking that tomorrow we are going to play.
You're up against Marcelo Bielsa tomorrow. What do you make of him? Because there are lots of managers, like for example Pep Guardiola, who are said to be disciples of his, and think that everything the man has done has been absolutely amazing. I just wondered, because you won so much more than he has won.
I'm only a disciple of my father, and I don't like that that situation in football. Even younger coaches, even people that work with me before, I don't like that. Oh, they are disciple of Jose. Everyone is an individual with his own ideas, can be influenced by one or another, but in the end, what matters is the individual. And I think, to speak about Mr. Bielsa, I think it's for the people that knows him well. I don't know him well. I think he was Atletico Bilbao coach in one of the seasons where I was in Real Madrid, and now is the first time we are in the same Premier League, or in the Premier League at the same time. For sure, it has to be a very good coach, but I'm not the person to analyze him, because I don't know him. Even personally, I just shook hands a couple of times and that's it.
And one last one from me. Earlier in the season, we saw lots of goals. I mean, over the course of a Premier League weekend, there could be 30 or even 40 goals scored amongst all the games in the Premier League. In the last 2 or 3 weeks, that's really dropped off quite a lot. We're even seeing 0-0 draws in games. Is that because players are tired? Is it because of the schedule? Or, I mean, what do you put that down to, the fact that we had so many goals at the beginning of the season and we're getting a lot less now?
It's difficult to say. Probably a bit of everything. Probably a bit of lack of sharpness in some of the players with more miles in the legs. Possibly because the war for points is becoming harder and harder, and organizations privilege that security. I honestly don't know what to say.
Thank you very much. Good luck to
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on to Lindsay Hooper. Lindsay, I'm just unmuting you.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year. Just wanted to start with some comparisons in the contest with Bielsa, Jose. 4 times you've come out the better off. How do you approach them each time?
I don't play against Mr. Bielsa. Never. I think my club played against his club, or my team play against his team. I don't like that individual situation, because that doesn't exist, for sure. We analyze our opponent. We did that in relation to Fulham. We did that in relation to Leeds. We know where they are very strong, and of course we have to try not to let them explore these strengths. And at the same time, we have to try to play our game, but I don't like that kind of approach.
Is there any merit in you sticking with the back 3 that you played against Wolves, or will you be going back to a back 4 for this match?
It's a good question, because it's a football question, but it's the kind of question that I'm not going to answer you. Of course not. I'm not interested in telling my opponents what we want to do, honestly.
And there has been some disruption, as was mentioned, but you've also had some good news in the squad. Harry Kane became a father to a little boy. Do those sorts of bits of news provide a boost?
I believe that individually, of course, yes. To have a new healthy baby is always good news for every family. And I believe in the case of a football player, where there is always the risk of a baby to born and you are not around. Happened to me 24 years ago, happened to me. Before the game, I was not a father, and after the game, I was a father. Everything happened in 2 hours. I think that can create in players a little bit of instability. You are with one eye in the ball and another eye in your house is only good news. And of course, when a player has that specific happiness, is normal that people around also feels the same for the friends.
Thank you.
Okay, Simon Stone from BBC.
Hi, Jose. A couple of weeks ago, everything was going really well for Tottenham and people were talking Tottenham up. The last few results have not been as good. Has anything changed, or is it just results dictate what people's opinions of your team is?
Opinions are opinions, and I'm used to that, especially because I know who I am, what I am, and that's not a new thing for me. It's very, very rare, especially in a league like the Premier League. In other countries that can happen more, but in the Premier League it's very, very difficult to happen. What happened, for example, to Liverpool last season, or Sheffield United last season, where it looks like you consistently go up, winning matches. In the Sheffield case, winning and drawing and being fantastically stable in the table. I think it will happen with every teams during the season, or you start bad, or you end bad, or you have a difficult period in the Christmas period, or you have a difficult moment of injuries or accumulation here or there. It's very, very difficult to be stable in terms of results. The only thing that I want to say is that the defeat that we had, and was, let's say, the start of a period of not good results, was against Liverpool. So the game where we were very, very close to win the game and never lose it was the game where, after that, the results and the level of performance went down. So football is also mental, and you are not in control of every item of the game. So I believe that we are going to have again good periods. We are going to have periods where you win matches, you score goals, and you look to the other clubs, which I'm not going, of course, to tell the names of the clubs, because I don't want to be misinterpreted. But if you go to the clubs, a part of what probably Aston Villa, that always kept that stability. You go to all the other clubs, and one was knocked out of the Champions League. Another one drew 2 matches in a row. Another one lost 3 matches in a row away of home. Is difficult for everybody. And there's another factor that I keep saying, but probably not everybody agrees with me. In every club, there are very good players. In every club, there are players that they could play for the top clubs. I could go to every club in the Premier League and I could choose 1, 2, or 3 players to play in my team. And I'm not speaking about the Liverpool, the Chelseas. I'm speaking about the considered teams with less potential. That is getting fake and fake and fake. Every game is very difficult. In every game, you go there, you can win, but you also can lose. And for me, that's very clear. That's very clear. I don't look anymore to the dimension of the club. I don't look anymore to the table. I know that every game, the opponent has potential.
Do you think this season? Sorry, do you think this season is going to be a fair season? You had a game called off. There was sides that didn't start at the same time as you. These matches have all got to be fitted in somewhere. Is this going to be fair?
It's a special season with special circumstances. I think we have to say it's going to be fair. We have to say that, because if we don't say that, it's better not to be involved. So we have to say that. But I believe that even from before the season started, it started immediately in a wrong way. Because to start the season with two clubs having a match in hand is immediately a wrong start. And the season started in August, and only in the last week of December we were informed about when these two matches are going to be played. But now it's not about two matches. Now it's about many other matches, or a few more. Then you go to, for example, the yellow cards accumulation, where on match number 19 you go from 5 to 10 yellow cards. What is going to happen is that match number 19 is not the end of the first round, because, for example, when we have match number 19, we played against a team twice, and we didn't play against Fulham one single game. So there are lots of things that are not right. But again, is what it is what is possible to have. And when you say is fair or not fair, we have to say it's fair.
Okay, apologies. We're running out of time, but I'm going to have time for one more, and it'll be Jonathan Veal, because he's at the top of my list. So, Jonathan, I'll come to you.
Hi, Jose.
Hey, Jonathan.
Hi. The January transfer window is obviously now open. Do you expect your club to be doing much business this month in terms of ins and outs?
I'm not expecting, no. Times are not easy. The club made a big effort in the summer to try to build a good squad. Honestly, if something good happened to us, would be a big surprise for me. I don't feel the right to ask for something. I don't feel. One thing is to analyze, which of course I do. One thing is to analyze and to commit to that analyze, and to write a report and to be committed to that report, which of course I did. I have to be professional. Another thing is to demand something, which I never do. And another thing is to ask for, and I'm not going to ask for anything, because I respect the effort that the club made.
Cool. So can I just quickly check on Moura and Vinicius? Will they be fit tomorrow? And what's the nature of the issue that's been the problem over the last week or so?
I lost him.
No, she said, are Lucas and Carlos going to be fit for tomorrow? And what's...
Yeah, I believe so. I believe they can. Of course, today we have to train still. Training session before the game is always important for these little things. But I think so. I think everything is going well, and I expect them to be ready.
Okay. Thank you very much. That will conclude the broadcast part of it. We'll move on.